It means we need to reset and make a decision. Is there going to be a step 2? Is there going to be a step 3? And so it's a journey.
Oh, I love how you said that. In fact, and so when I'm thinking about that, when you're nurturing them, is it that you want to drive them maybe to a landing page to learn more? Do you want to drive them to your e-commerce site so that they can take a look around and perhaps buy from you? Or is it to just reach more people, nurture those individuals so that they get to know and like and trust you, so that they will then refer you to other people or connect you or with other people, perhaps introduce you, or even just share your information so some of their community or tribe members come over and start connecting with you as well.
Exactly. And I mean, that's in the long story of our business relationship, that's how we got to radio. Mm-hmm. And that's what we use radio for, because we can reach out and touch people that we don't know. Mm-hmm. And, on radio, you don't need a high percentage of people to call you to say, I'd like to know more information. But that's all we're after in a networking scenario. I'd like to carry this conversation over somewhere else. Well, would you like to have a cup of coffee? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what the what is. It matters what the relationship is.
I love that. I love how you said that. And I think about, what type of wow experience can you provide to those individuals that you've connected with, so that you will be, as your term, be rememberable.
The whole thing is, we've talked about, what do you do when you first meet in a relationship? Maybe a compliment is all you need on how somebody dresses or they look, or the brochures that they're handing out, and those type of things. Fast forward to a couple of years down the line, now all of a sudden what we're talking about is, how is our business relationship doing? Am I serving you to where, the bottom line, you're increasing your value with your customers, and are you making money? A lot of people don't understand the flow of money. But if I give you value and you make money, you're going to pay me more money because you want to make more money. And that's the best way that this whole thing flows. So we have to look at it from that standpoint. It's the give and take. It's a give and take in a simple conversation. It's a give and take in a business relationship. Because, in the business relationship, you got to give take. They have to have value, and you have to have value.
Mm-hmm. And I really believe that this could be where some people are falling short and with their social media and saying, it just doesn't work, whether it be, doing a Facebook ad or, through their communications. I hear so many, it just takes so much time, Cheri. It's just not getting me anywhere. I'm posting, I'm pushing stuff out there. I share people's information, but I'm not getting any return on my investment, which is your time, or return on my engagement, which is your communication. Does this really work? Does this really work, Richard?
Yes, it does. And I'm going to use you as an example, because I remember you in the early years of social media, going way back, folks. I'm not talking in the last 5 or 6 years.
Wait a minute.
Okay, what was the first social site you were on?
LinkedIn back in 05.
No, Plaxo.
Oh, Plaxo, yes.
And that was in when?
And oh my gosh, that was in the early 2000s, about 2002, 3.
Okay.
And then MySpace, then LinkedIn and MySpace, yeah.
And that. So when we look at Cheri's ability to be the social guru that she is, and she is, folks, it didn't happen in the last 2 or 3 or 4 years. It's happened in the last 15 years.
It goes back to the networking, understanding networking skills, and really taking the premise of networking and bringing it onto social media. It's a social networking platform. We have to remember that, because we aren't selling on the social networking platform. We are building the relationships, nurturing them, and taking them to where we increase our revenue. If that's your intention, which all of us want to do.
In business, you have to.
We want to grow our business. And to grow our business, we need to get more referrals. We need to have more people buy our services and our products. So ultimately, your communications and your connections and the way you are building those relationships, developing those relationships, that's what's going to take you to that end result. Like I said, do you want to grow your business and really get the results you desire? You have to understand the premise of social media.
Very well said. I mean, that's the whole scenario that we're working at here. Because when you have your relationship, now you can really use social media to its fullest advantage.
How so, Richard?
And that's top of mind awareness.
Ooh.
That's where they see a little tip from you. That's when, and it's okay to put up there. Hey, we went out to dinner at this great restaurant. Whatever name the restaurant. Give them a kudo too. And that's where you pick it up.
That's the T in the acronym of SMART. Top of mind awareness.
And that's where you want to be. And then you want to take it to the top of mind squared. And that's where they're waiting to hear from you. Cheri, you didn't post today. What happened?
Oh, gosh, that does happen. And I know myself. I follow people. And, last week, again, a lot of us, the week before, those of us that were in that path of Matthew, we were busy hunkering down or evacuating, whatever it had to be, and then the next week, not only were you unhunkering, trying to get back to normal, but the stress levels were up, but we also had to go right into our business week. And it just seemed, me, I was just like the whole week, I was like on edge. When I say on edge, meaning I was trying to, just take 2 weeks and put them into one. And it was because we got behind a little bit because we couldn't do some things the week before. A lot was canceled. So it was like, all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, I made sure that all my clients' information, their social platforms were being, posted on. I had scheduled some stuff ahead of time before I evacuated, but also monitoring and managing it. But I stepped back and, oh my gosh, I haven't posted anything on my social media except that I was bye-bye. No, my personal I did. And that's really where I focused last week, was more my personal side. And I'm here to say, audience, you have to blend your social sites and, your personal profile, your business pages, especially on Facebook. You have to blend those. And then when you have the groups, because that's where you have to be top of mind on all of them, not just in one area. And you have to be consistent on, if you're on multiple platforms and you have followers and connections and fans and friends and whatever, all across the platforms there, you have to be consistent so people recognize you. It's that brand recognition. Be very careful about that. Don't just haphazardly put something up. I'm not saying you have to be as active on some as others, but if you're going to claim your place, make sure you have the same logo or the same type of cover image that you're putting on the others, so people say, oh, that's them. That's Richard and Cheri. I recognize them. That's the same logo. And it's very, very important to be recognizable or rememberable, as you say.
Rememberable, yeah. You go to any big corporation, and we're into the Christmas holiday seasons now. Look at the brands that come out there. You've got some major brands that sit out there. Macy's does a great job of pushing it and pushing the level that they want you to buy at in their store. You sit there and you look at the fast food industry, the fast food business. Look at how they do it. Look at how Walmart started in June of this year, trying to reestablish a little higher quality brand when their CEO comes on and does their commercials. All of this, when you see these things, it's, if I did that, what would it do for me? Do I need to consider something like this? A lot of the times, most of the time, it's probably no, but you're going to catch a few of those that go, yes, that's what I need to do. But the difference is you didn't have to spend millions of dollars with an advertising company like the big brands do.
Definitely follow influencers within your industry. Take a look at what your competitors are doing. Don't copy them, but just learn from them. Take what you like. see what you like, what you don't like, and then start putting that into your own voice. You have to be yourself. That is the one thing about social media is you have to be authentic. No one's fewer than you. Who says that?
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss, exactly. Be you. And it isn't just about posting to get that top of mind awareness. You definitely want to be seen, but you have to make sure that you're involving your community, which means you have to be engaging on their posts, on your connections, the people that you're connecting with. You have to take the time to go and comment on their posts.
It would be like somebody calling you, for business or personal, it doesn't matter, but it's like somebody calling you and you never return their phone calls. What does that make you feel like when it happens to you? It's kind of like a slap in the face, it's well, I don't care, so why should I care? Mm-hmm. And now the relationship is gone, and both of you are going to be suffering because of it. And looking at that thing, it's that thank you that should come from that never got said. Mm-hmm. And the thank you is it's the ribbon, it's the bow on the package that you're giving out.
I like that.
That's the thank you. We all like what's in the package, but it's really fun to look at how people wrap their packages. Mm-hmm. It's really interesting. And if it's interesting to us that receive packages, how do we wrap our message for people? How do we tie that together so that they can't wait for your next message? They can't wait for your next tip. They can't wait for the next call. Because when you get raving fans that they just love you for the sake of loving you, okay, that's when you're up there with the big guys. That's where you have the know, like, and trust.
Well, I mentioned, and I'm going to use just, for an example, a realtor. No names, no particular type of realtor, but just for everyone that's listening, today, think of who you're connected with on social media. And I'm sure every one of us are connected with at least one realtor. At least. Because real estate, this is the best platform for them to really get the message out. But you have to ask yourself, are the messages that are coming through, say, your news feed on Facebook from realtors, is it just when they have a house for sale? Or is it just when they have an open house? Is that the only time you really see them posting out there? Or is there someone that you can think of, that you can picture in your mind, a realtor that every single day you see something coming through your news feed and it's fun, it's entertaining, it's maybe a tip, maybe giving us some industry news, maybe sharing some decorative tips, or what to look for in a realtor, or perhaps how to evacuate from a hurricane. There's all sorts of information you could be putting out on a daily basis, a consistent basis, so people remember you, and when they have a question and they want an answer, they don't go to Google, they don't go to YouTube, they come to you. Because you're consistently putting out this information and you're being top of mind. So when they are ready, and trust me, not everybody is ready. We all love to buy. Nobody wants to be sold to. So you have to keep that in mind when you're putting your marketing message out there on social media. Again, giving information that is helpful to those that you want to attract. When you're doing this, and someone has, we all know in sales, everyone has a pain of some sort. That's why they buy a product or a service. They want a solution for that pain. So you have to understand and be very clear and concise in who your ideal client is and what your product or service serves, how it serves, and how it can help them and benefit them, so that that is actually put into your message and it resonates with the right client, so that they know when they have the need for you, that they come to you. And I know for a fact that not everybody that follows me, connects with me, or, buys